Hello! Welcome everybody, we're back. I almost already just knocked my water over, that was sick. Welcome back. It's been a hot minute. We haven't been here since EVO. I had to take the week off last week because I was working, but we're back for another episode of Best of 5. I hope y'all are doing well. First of all, before we start the show, let's thank That Mean Scene for the big resub for 32 months. Mean Scene, thank you so much. And also thank you for all of the work you do. Mean Scene's one of our producers here on the stream. He helps put graphics together, and boy, do we got a lot of graphics together. We've got a lot of graphics to go through. Tonight on the show, we have a very, very special show. We are going to have a big old recap of what we missed this weekend and what we missed since we didn't get a chance to recap EVO. We're going to talk about Gamescom. Gamescom's next week. And what we can expect from there. Are we going to see cool stuff? Who knows? Only Jeff Keighley does. Then we're going to talk to Esfand. Esfand, he is somebody I follow on Twitch, and I ran into him at EVO. And I saw him hanging out, and I was like, hey, I do a talk show. You want to be on it? And he goes, yep. I don't know why he would agree to it, but he's here. He will be here at 8:30. We have him in the green room. I asked him what he wanted as a snack, and he said red pills. And I thought he was talking about red M&Ms, so I got him a bunch of red M&Ms. But no, he was talking about ret, R-E-T pills, because I guess he's a ret paladin. I didn't know about that, so I apologize. But he brought his own, so he's well taken care of. Don't worry. He's big chilling in our green room. And then, after we pick Esfand's brain about his first experience at EVO and with the FGC, we're going to talk about the Mortal Kombat 1 beta, because that's starting tomorrow, which I completely forgot about, to be completely honest. But we're going to talk about it. Before we go any further, I do believe it is about that time. Oh, actually, before we even start, there was a couple of things that came out today that I didn't get a chance to work into the show, so we're going to knock them out real quick. First, there's more JoJo's All-Star Battle Plus R. It's not Plus R. Plus R is for Guilty Gear. JoJo's All-Star Battle R got another season pass coming, so glad to see that game's still supported. For those of you that remember earlier this year, I went through the whole JoJo's Netflix content in there, and I actually really liked it. So it's cool to see more of this stuff coming out. And along with the paid DLC, there will be character balance adjustments. So that's pretty cool. So big ups to all of the JoJo's players out there, especially since CEO Otaku's coming up. And the other thing is, earlier this week, Street Fighter, the folks over at Capcom, released a character usage data for July. And this is what the character usage looks like. So from Rookie, we got Juri, Cammy, Ken, Luke, and Ryu. From Iron to Gold, it's Ken, Cammy, Juri, Ryu, and Marissa. And from Platinum to Master, it's Ken, Marissa, Ryu, Cammy, Juri. So almost all the same characters, just in different orders, right? I think the only difference is in Rookie, it's Luke instead of Marissa. So that's pretty cool. It's crazy that Ken is played this much, right? I don't think I ever realized that Ken was played this much. Maybe it's because I tend to just run into Marissas and JPs and DJs. The frustrating thing about Street Fighter 6 is they're still having some matchmaking issues. So unfortunately, like I play like the same like 8 people. So, and they're DJ and JP players. Arc rates in the chat. Yeah, Luke not in top 5 above Plat is crazy. I agree. I figured he would be a really popular character because he's got all the tools, right? But them's the breaks, Luke. I guess he didn't go into the streets enough or something. I don't know. All right. Before we get on with the rest of the show, we got to do the thing. Chat. I'm pretty sure I have it as a follow emote. You see a blue cap that says re. It's our recap because we're about to recap all of the tournaments that happened in the past 2 weeks. So, without further ado, here is your weekly recap. And we're starting with the Grand Blue versus Rising, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising Open Beta tournament at EVO. It was Gamera, the master from Japan, taking it over Ba in a very, very close set. Unfortunately, no reset, but he was still up there nonetheless. Shuabu and Ba's set, the losers finals, was absolutely amazing to watch. So shout outs to them. Diaphone taking the moment to be in the big stage. Also taking a moment to shout out his own YouTube channel. Shout outs to him. JFK JP, the other Japanese invader, tying for 5th along with Slash GG. And Mr. Quotes and Merp tying for 7th. Tied for 9th is Gouda. Blue. Blue's up here in 9th. Shout outs to Blue. Blue's another one of our producers here on the show. So shout outs to him for making it to 9th on this very, very stacked tournament. Shatani and Ants were the rest of the people tied for 9th. Tied for 13th was Langston, Webbs, TBH, Monarch, and Garden in Tool. So shout outs to everybody who played Grand Blue Versus. It was super fun to watch. Next. My controller is not working. Okay, well, we'll do it manually. Melty Blood Type Lumina was taken by Moai. Moai over Dai. And the Lord, Jimmy J-Tran. What a surprise, right? Jimmy J-Tran, usually known as a Tekken player, but showing up, getting the podium for Melty Blood Type Lumina this year, above Jing, who, if I'm not mistaken, was last year's winner? He was either last year's winner or he was like in the top 8 last year. Scrop Vermilion, the Lord, tying for 5th, along with the Korean Wrestling Man. Rond and Lunar are tying for 7th. Tied for 9th were Shatani, Safe, and Kiri. And, I'm sorry, Aaron Shatani, Safe, and Kiri. And tied for 13th were Nico Nico May, Fajita Ida. That's a contender for best name of the week right there. Fajita Ida, Infinity, and Rena. So shout outs to everybody playing some Melty Blood. It looked hella fun, so shout outs to everybody there. Man, yeah, I guess my controller is not working today. RIP. Let's go over to Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 11, the book has closed on Mortal Kombat 11 at EVO. This is potentially, well, no, it is probably the last year of Mortal Kombat 11 as a main stage game. And it was taken by USA's Ninja Killa 212, being the first man ever to eliminate the Chilean brothers, Nicholas and Scorpion Prox, who took 2nd and 3rd respectively. What a grand finals and what a losers finals it was. So shout outs to Ninja Killa for making the big run. Foxy Grandpa from Great Britain taking a very respectable 4th place. Zombat and the Mighty Unjust tying for 5th. And Makaran and Rewind tying for 7th. Euphoric, Agamotto's Eye, King Gambler, and Conqueror tying for 9th. Jukes, Han Rashid, Killer Zinok, and Grr tying for 13th. So shout outs to the quite possibly final Mortal Kombat 11 tournament at EVO. Next year it's going to be Mortal Kombat 1. Yeah, a lot of Fujin mirrors. Next was Dragon Ball FighterZ, which was a Power Plus event. The only Power Plus event on the calendar. And Hikari from the USA bringing it all the way back from what was almost a 3-0, almost a 6-0 if I remember correctly, from France's Yasha. Yasha was a favorite to win the tournament, but Hikari held it in there for the USA. Nitro, the other big USA representative, taking 3rd. Gropis from Spain, tying for going for 4th. Kite and STG Garlic Bread tying for 5th, and Inzem and KJ Pixel tied for 7th. Adrian Riven, Kanye, Legendary Pred, and Zane all tying for 9th. The Lord Fenrich, Shanks, Wade, and Kashiki tying for 13th. Hikari is automatically qualified for the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour Final, so congratulations to Hikari, and congratulations to a very stacked Dragon Ball FighterZ tournament. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Next, King of Fighters 15 was taken by the man, the myth, the legend, the Xiao Hai. Xiao Hai is back on top. If you guys missed it, he brought a box. A lot of people have been using coats to hide their stick movements. Xiao Hai made himself a box, and it worked because he won over ET from Taiwan in the grand finals, and also took it over Moke from Japan, who took third. Güero Asamiya, the final Mexican representative in the bracket, very respectable fourth place. Lacid and Mad KOF, both from Korea, both tying for fifth. And Taiwan's ZJZ, last year's winner, and F Kang from Brazil, tying for seventh. Lagia Tamako, Kaiser 666, and Shark Urian tying for ninth. And Says Mexico, Violent Kane, Bon, and Vader.pe tying for 13th. So shoutouts to the King of Fighters 15 bracket. And now we get to Sunday's finals. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 still somehow manages to be a game where there is no repeat EVO champion. Jabril this year taking it over Evasion in a crazy grand finals. Kane Blue River, the crowd favorite, taking a very, very, very respectable bronze medal. Liberal Terminator, he was my pick to make it to the end, unfortunately. However, made it all the way to fourth, so shoutouts to Liberal Terminator. Mundank and Spartan Throne. Spartan Throne coming all the way from Great Britain, tying for fifth. And RF from Japan and Escalante tying for seventh. And shoutouts to Remora, Ace's Return, Ryan LV, former EVO champion, and Wolf Street for tying for ninth. And Wedge, Jason Game Dev, WBI Priest, and Milky tying for 13th. Wait a minute. Is Ryan LV the former EVO champion? I'm thinking of Dual Kevin. Was Ryan LV another one? I don't know. I think so. I don't know. I'll look it up later. I apologize for the lack of information. Tekken 7. Speaking of repeat EVO champions, Arslan Ash taking the big EVO tournament over Ao this year for his second EVO championship. For Tekken 7. This was also a Master Plus event, so he has no shortage of points. Al, once again, taking the silver medal. And Ulsan making a very, very great showing all the way up to the bronze medal for third. Genghis Don, USA. Genghis Don, a crowd favorite this year, making it all the way to top four. Red Bull's Anakin, another crowd favorite from the USA, tying for fifth. Mayo Il from Korea, the Geese player, tying for fifth, as well as Anakin. And Dojin and my personal hero, Nobi, tying for seventh on this very, very stacked Tekken 7 bracket. And here's why this Tekken 7 bracket was very stacked. Tied for ninth, check out these names. Chikarin, Khan, Joey Fury, and Ayo Richie. And tied for 13th is Farzine, Book, I'm Your Father, another contender for best name of the week. And the Miguel Cepha Black. Those are a heck of a lot of big names in those top tied for 9th and tied for 13th spots. So shout outs to everybody who played Tekken 7 at EVO this year, and congratulations once again to Arslan Ash for the big win. And we get to the big kahuna of the EVO weekend. It was the first big Street Fighter 6 tournament. 7,000 players, all narrowed down to Angry Bird, winning it over Mena RD in a very exciting grand finals. Last round, but definitely last game, last match for both Angry Bird and Mena RD. Punk tying for third, very respectable showing for third place, taking it over. Punk was coming in from losers finals. Mena RD with a very exciting match against Takedo, a crazy match against Takedo. If you have not seen it, I think that was absolutely my favorite set of the weekend. Kakeru from Japan tying for fifth, along with Haitani, Fujimura, and Nemo. All the Japanese representatives stuck on fourth and below. Now check out these names on the 9th and 13th spots. Fudo, Moke, Oyo King, Knuckle Dew, all tied for 9th. Kaba, Bonchan, Yamaguchi, and Momochi all tied for 13th. Those are some killer names that did not make top 8, so I can only imagine how crazy Street Fighter 6 is going to be in the future. But for now, The party is at Angry Bird's house, so shout-outs to Angry Bird for qualifying for Capcom Cup X. And if you guys haven't seen it, Angry Bird and Big Bird, both from the United Arab Emirates, stream at birds_FGC on Twitch. And Angry Bird's parents made a showing on the stream telling him how proud they are of him, which was very, very, very heartwarming. So shout-outs to Angry Bird. Congratulations. You could see it meant a lot to him. Finally, this past weekend was the first Capcom Pro Tour Online tournament, and this was for Oceania, and it was taken by the man, the myth, the legend, the Travis Styles, taking it over Crown in the big Australian Grand Finals. TB and ROF taking third and fourth respectively. Panda tying along with New Zealand's only representative in top 8, Ghost Chips. Steve Yo and Freezer tying for 7th. A Wild Llama, another bestie best name of the week contender there. Zarzo, Agent 17805, and Somniac tying for 9th. And Doug Cuddles, along with Mont, BK Sama, and Microsoft J tying for 13th. Shoutouts to everybody for competing, and a big congratulations to Travis Styles for once again qualifying it to Capcom Cup. Capcom Cup 10 even. Wow, that's exciting. So shoutouts to Travis Styles. Shoutouts to everybody who competed. And that, ladies and gents, has been this week's recap. Uh-oh. There we go. Sorry, it's been a little while. Hey, the transition was smooth. Sorry, it's been a little while. I forgot how to switch the show. But exciting recap, super cool. So shouts out to everybody that competed both at EVO and at the CPT Oceania this past weekend. EVO was super dope, man. I talked about it on the morning streams, but EVO was super cool. I don't think there's anything else left to be said, man. EVO was fucking awesome. If you missed it, unfortunately, come back next year. It'll be there. But yes, so we were talking about MK11. Yeah, there were a ton of mirror matches, right? Fujin mirrors, which was pretty crazy. And Marvel was another game that was super duper exciting until the grand finals, because the grand finals were Zero May Cry, which is Zero, Dante, and Virgil. So some of the more boring characters to watch. Not necessarily boring characters, but I think they're everybody uses them because they're so good, right? But shout outs to everybody. Shout outs to Rick, first of all, Rick the Hado, for completing another year of EVO and being an amazing one at that. Shout outs to Rick and Walt Krisa for being so hospitable to me, letting me run an episode of the show from the EVO show floor, which was pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, sorry. Now that I took a breath, I think it's time for us to get to our first topic of the night, which be Gamescom. So I'm gonna pass it over to Ilan on the top left. He's been chilling at home. He didn't get to go to EVO, so He'll give you the lowdown on Gamescom because he's been able to stay at home. So here's to Ilan on the top left. Hello, it's me. I'm Ilan on the top left. I hope you guys have had a good one. It's been a hot minute. I've just been sitting here, and now you guys are back. So it's great to have some company again. Let's talk about Gamescom. Gamescom, for those of you that don't know, is kind of what E3 used to be now. Kind of. E3 as an event is unfortunately gone. I believe it's no longer even a thing. I think they've decided to call it. However, Papa Jeff Keighley has decided to take up the mantle for Gamescom. So lots of big announcements, lots of big cool things happening. I thought this was Summer Game Fest. Was it Summer Game Fest? I don't know. All I saw is that it's Gamescom. I'm going to check my email just to make sure I'm not giving you guys bad info. Ugh. Just to make sure I'm not giving you guys bad info. Gamescom. Oh, shit, you're right. Oh, no. Gamescom opening night live. Yeah, opening night live is the big event where they show off, where Jeff Keighley shows off a lot of games. And slated to be there, of course, is Mortal Kombat 1. Ed Boon is going to go up on stage and show off some more Mortal Kombat 1 stuff. At this point, the game is what, like a couple weeks from releasing? Right? It's going to come out on the 19th, so it's 1, 2, 3, so 4 weeks out from release, and they're still showing off some stuff. So I wonder what they're going to show. I think they're probably going to show another ton of characters and a ton of cameo characters, right? And especially since this is coming after the big beta weekend. I'm excited to see what Ed Boon's going to talk about. Freeman, good to see you. Also, Solanero, mean scene, Die by Sword, good to see y'all. So yeah, that is Mortal Kombat 1 is the one big announcement that's been teased so far. However, I think it's safe to say we might get something for Tekken, right? Do we know which chars and cameos are on the beta weekend this weekend? Yes, we do. There is a trailer that I unfortunately forgot to download because I'm a dummy. But it's going to be the exact same roster as last time with the addition of Lee May and one other cameo. I don't remember. Lee May is going to be there. It should be a pretty good no Tanya. I don't think so. I could be wrong about that though. Please correct me if I am wrong. And that beta starts tomorrow. So that's going to be pretty exciting. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. But as far as Gamescom opening night live goes, there's going to be a ton of announcements. There's going to be a ton of stuff. Mortal Kombat 1 has been confirmed. I think we're probably going to see another Tekken 8 trailer, right? We may also see, maybe they were holding off the Aki gameplay trailer for Street Fighter 6 until Gamescom opening night live. Did Capcom pull a Tekken from last year where we get the teaser at EVO and the actual trailer at Gamescom or at the Game Awards or whatever? I don't know. Also, something I completely missed. Multiverses is slated to actually release in 2024. I know they shut down the beta, but I didn't know they had already planned to release in 2024. So shout out to Multiverses. Maybe we'll see some Multiverses stuff. Who knows? I'm curious to see what Mortal Kombat's going to reveal. We're going to talk about that later. May even place some pizza bets on the table. But for now, what we got is Gamescom is coming. Papa Jeff Keighley. I'm assuming, look, there's also, this is a little bit outside of the FGC, but there's also a showing for, or there's going to be a big event this Friday, which is tomorrow, for Armored Core 6, where they're going to go over PvP stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see more Armored Core 6 stuff. So let's see what happens. Shall we? Sorry, I thought I bumped into something. Chat, do you guys have any expectations? What do you guys think? Aside from Mortal Kombat 1, what are we going to see? Are we going to see finally the Marvel 4 trailer? The Alex trailer from Street Fighter 5? Armored Core comes out next week? Oh, shit. I didn't know it was coming out this early. That's crazy. Wanted to see some Project L? Mommy TTV. I think since we saw Project L at EVO, my assumption is that they're going to go back to the drawing board after all of the stuff that they picked up from EVO. And we aren't going to see them maybe for like another year. I could be completely wrong about that. They're probably... Hell, if they have like a release trailer for Project L on Gamescom opening night live, I would be surprised, scared, and excited. So we'll see. We got Solanero thinking there's gonna be Sega stuff. Oh yeah, Yakuza. We got like the Yakuza like a dragon teaser last time. We got Solanero thinking some Sega stuff, which is Yakuza, so that's cool. we'll see what happens. It's a treasure trove of expectations and non-expectations. All right. So I see Esfand is trying to log in. However, the system is not letting him. So give me 1 second here. All right. Hopefully VMix will be kind to us. VMix is not being kind to us. Let's see. Let's try this then. Oh. All right. I think VMix finally works. All right, so that is the stuff for Gamescom expectations. I think we got Esfand. Esfand, you here?
Yo, what's up, dude?
Yo, how's it going? All right, let me transition over here. As you see, this is a very professional operation we got running here. So,
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, the legend, the Ret Paladin himself is here. Everybody give your round of applauses, some Esfandels in the chat for Lord Esfand. How's it going, man?
Yo, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
No, dude, thanks for agreeing to come on. Did you recover from Ebola yet? I remember you saying you were feeling a bit down. Okay.
Yeah,
sick.
I did. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I had it was like a 2-day ordeal for me.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think a lot of people came down with both either COVID or Ebola, so I'm glad you got like the easier the easier end of that stick.
Yeah, I think I'm immune to COVID at this point because of the I've had it so much that man. It hit me like I think twice, and then I had like booster and just the whole 9 yards. So yeah.
We're just like a cocktail of boosters at this point, so I'm with you. I somehow managed to dodge everything, so I'm hoping it stays that way.
Sick. Nice.
First of all, I saw you were in LA yesterday doing Madden stuff, and now you're back home. You're a busy man. Did you get any sleep?
No. No, I basically I'm like running on fumes right now, but like. Yeah, it's because I like to. I like always kind of have to. I kind of have to keep moving, you know.
Yeah, so. I'm the same way, man.
Yeah.
So, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about that because you were on staff, like on football staff for college, right?
Yeah.
So, now that you've been playing fighting games, are there any like similarities between how you would approach football at like a real life sport and how you've been approaching fighting games at all?
So I think like my competitive sort of like nature makes me want to have something to grind all the time. So like I played WoW for a long time. I was always like trying to PvP and like do Gladiator and like get Gladiator every season whenever I was doing PvP and stuff like that, right? Like I always had like a grind to just constantly do. And I think the good thing about fighting games, the cool thing about like Street Fighter specifically, because that's really what I play. But you can feel like this natural feeling of development, like you're getting this natural feeling of progression as time goes on. Like, oh, I did this thing better, or like I can reliably like cancel something now that I couldn't cancel like 2 weeks ago, or you kept messing something up or anything like that. So like I can see it. It's very tangible, and that tangible progression is like really cool.
Hell yeah. And I saw you were playing on leverless, right? You're learning the hitbox.
Yeah.
Or not hitbox, but the leverless.
Yeah, I mean it's the snack. This one technically is the snack box that somebody just they were like running the booth and they gave me one, which was sick. They're like, cool, okay. And because I wanted to get something like this because I was gonna get the Razer Kitsune whenever that comes out. So having this in the meantime to kind of like learn it, and then whenever the Kitsune gets in here, I'll switch to that. But yeah,
hell yeah,
it's been good because I was always jumping like crazy. Yeah. Like I love because I was using this controller. So here's one controller. Here's I was using this one for a while. I was using this one for a while.
Oh, nice.
No, I haven't used that one. I use this one though.
Cool.
Which is actually this is also an N64 controller, but I did use this one for a while, and this one's really good. Because I would just treat it like the 6 buttons.
Yeah.
But the problem with this was, what was the problem with this one? This one had something wrong with. Oh, this would click, so I would accidentally like heavy kick randomly.
Oh.
So if I use this, so then I started using this, and then I wanted to have an extra input, but this shared an input with another button. There was something weird. There's something wrong with the input, so I had to do something weird. And then
Yeah.
that's whenever I switched to this, and then this was better.
Hell yeah.
So
And now you're a leverless player. You're right there with everybody.
yeah. So
That's
now
like
I'm
the
doing
popular. That's the popular stuff nowadays.
yeah. And my big problem was I was always trying to like, if I ever like try to go like left and right, I would just always jump for some reason. So that's why I wanted to switch.
Yeah. And how's the switch been going? Like, have you run into any like big issues at all or not?
The first day was like really rough, but I'm at the point now where like, okay, like my muscle memory, because I've been playing, I say a lot. I've been playing a lot for me, given like how busy I am with everything. So it's been kind of cool to go through that progression. It's like, okay, like every day I'm getting like noticeably better.
Hell yeah. And before we even get to EVO, I wanted to talk about the AT&T Cup, the Annihilator Cup that you were a part of. So was that like your first? I mean, I don't think it was the first, like your first ever, but like was that like your first like fighting game tournament that you like prepared for and worked towards?
Yeah. And I mean, I basically like had a few days to get ready, but I had been playing Street Fighter since it came out. I always loved Street Fighter. Like I always thought Street Fighter was cool, but I mean I played like every other kid. I was just like spamming like button mashing and stuff. Like, I was like everybody does that when they're kids.
The fun stuff.
Yeah. So, but then I never really like continued to like play it and like get better and grind it. And that was like Street Fighter 2. You know, that was like Super Nintendo. And then like right before Street Fighter 6 came out, I played on the Nintendo Switch. There was like the 30th anniversary edition or whatever. So like I was like playing like Third Strike and stuff on that a little bit. But that's kind of like all my Street Fighter experience right before 6 came out. So
yeah. So what was like your training regimen, as it were, for the AT&T Cup? Did you have anything specific that you were practicing, or were you just trying to play and figure stuff out?
I was just kind of trying to play, and Lakari came over for like an hour, and he just like taught me about like throw loops and helped me with like some drive rush stuff and just like how to initiate. And like having like a proper like initiation helped a lot. Like different ways to initiate, or like getting in the corner, or trying to get out of the corner, which I'm still kind of bad at. But stuff like that. That was like the main stuff. Like Lakari helped me for like an hour, and it made like a world of difference.
Yeah, I mean, you got what, like third?
Yeah. Dude, I got third.
That's awesome.
And I only lost to Luke's, which I'm terrible against. I don't know. There's some champions, like my brain just like, it's the way their body, like their animations move. Like I can't time anything. Like I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So it's hard, man. It's hard, especially with somebody like Luke, right? Because he's new to Street Fighter in general. Like sometimes you just have to look at a character enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, like, how did it feel while you were going through the bracket? Like, were your nerves just like getting out of control, or like since you've played football and you were into sports, like were you able to like keep everything super chill? Like, what was that like?
It wasn't too. As far as nerves go, I wasn't really like nervous or anything, but like in that last match that I played, I definitely got like really annoyed because I'm so, because I would screw up the motion input for like Hadoukens, and like that's like like literally just Jake's not Jake. Well, it was Jake, but Luke. I want to say Luke. I thought Jake, but Jake was like sandblast spamming me, and I'm like, okay, I'm just like I can like EX Hadouken this, right? But then Jack was spamming Jake, and I had Jake in my head. But he kept sandblast spamming, so I'm like, okay, well I got EX Hadouken this, and then I got like tilted because I kept screwing up the input, and I kept doing like, I would like not let go of like I wouldn't like let go of down before I went like hit forward, so it was like hitting like diagonal. So I would do like the down heavy instead of doing like an EX Hadouken. Like it would register as a down heavy. Yeah. So which was like just like I was like getting so tilted like at myself. I was like, dude, you gotta be kidding me! Like I keep doing this. But like as far as like actually like nervousness, no. But like that was like the thing that like that was the only thing that actually tilted me, I think.
Gotcha. It happens to all of us, man. We've all been there, and like just being completely tilted for like shit that we just can't do at the moment. So how did it feel getting third? Like, were you like, was that expected? Were you expecting to make it that far? Like,
like I wasn't expecting to make it third necessarily, or like top 3. I was expecting to do better than some people because I had been playing, but it was funny because a bunch of people in that tournament are FPS players, and I'm not an FPS player. So like we kept the first 2 games that we played were like all FPS games. So it's like okay, and I'm like I'm terrible at Apex, horrible at Apex. I don't even remember what the second game we played was. I'm not. I just can't remember. So like I'm not good at FPS games. So I was like, okay, finally, like this is something that like I've played this a little bit, and I'm on the same playing field as a lot of other people, if not a little bit more, because some people had never played Street Fighter. So like I was happy about that, and then really the only people that were ahead of me were like Lyric, who's played a fair amount and he's good. He was like gold. Everybody who beat me was higher elo, and Jake had been playing since like last year, I think. So since Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was actually good.
Awesome. So I wanted to ask your opinion on one thing. A little bit of controversy came out, and it was Emeru with how she was playing Honda. I wanted to get your take, and then I want to give you like the FGC's take on like that style of play. Like, what did you think? Like, did you have anything against how she was playing?
Absolutely, I did. No, I know it's so that was funny because like I get why people are annoyed about like the modern Honda spam, and I actually agree with it. But there was like this random loser, like he tweeted out this video of Emeru who did not place well at all. It was like Emeru and then one of the other girls, I can't remember who it was. But it was very like clear, like there's like they're obviously like picking on the girls here, and there was other people playing modern Honda and spamming and doing well with it. So it's like you obviously had an agenda here. And then they tweeted, and Damascus saw it. I think he tweeted at Damascus, or Damascus saw it. And Damascus is like, yeah, like this bullshit, whatever. But what happens was I think Damascus got baited into like basically the troll stuff. And because what Damascus was saying was like, yeah, like that thing, like it's totally makes sense. Like it's right. Like people think that's annoying and it's dumb. But the problem is it got flipped into something that it's not, on top of like, well, there's like tons of people now who like never really watched Street Fighter or cared for it, and then they watch that tournament and they're like, dude, this is actually hype. Like watching like fighting games is super hype because it's very easy to understand on the base level of like guy hits other guy, health bar goes down. But then on the more like advanced level where you start understanding like you start understanding like frames and plus minus, and you start understanding all this other stuff for spacing, like it's really really cool to like watch like the meta stuff. So yeah, I think Damascus just got like baited into it because I was like, I said something about it too, and he like deleted his tweet and he was like, yeah, I like you're actually right. Like I'm sorry, I actually totally like misunderstood the like what was happening here, because it was like he saw what he saw, which was what I think most people agree with. Yeah. But also for like a tournament like this, like people are just gonna do just gonna play like rats because like it's kind of funny, and I realized that at first because like no, I'm gonna try hard. Oh, it's Fortnite. Fortnite was the second game. I'm gonna try hard. Like as far as like I'm gonna try and play the game the right way, and then I realized it's way more entertaining to be really bad and do rat stuff and see if you can get a win. So it's like it's just a different mentality of people that are actually like playing the game. So yeah, that's why Emmy, who was like, of course she was gonna rat it because it was like funny. Like I did the same thing for Fortnite. I didn't do it for Apex, and I played horribly, right? But I was like, okay, I'm gonna rat for Fortnite, and I also played horribly. So it really didn't make a difference for me. But yeah, so that's what it is, because it's like the Annihilator Cup is like, it's like they get a bunch of people from like all different parts of the website around, so it's like that's like the whole point. It's like supposed to be like a content tournament. Yeah, so it makes sense. But
yeah, because normally like the FGC take for stuff like that is it's a competition. You do whatever you can to win, right? Like I was trying to specifically look for stuff where one of the tournaments that now turned into Combo Breaker used to be called UFGT, and they used to have a random Mugen tournament where like, and it was auction, like a silent auction Mugen tournament. And it was literally like you just picked a random character, and you know, like Mugen is like an open source fighting game engine where like anybody can add whatever they want. And like there is a video out there of Justin Wong figuring out an infinite and just doing the infinite and like winning. Right?
Really?
So, like, yeah. So like if you like the fighting game community, it's like it's a competition. There's stuff on, like there's shit on the line. you got to win, right?
Right.
And it's up to the other person then to figure out like how to deal. So that's at least like from the fighting game player perspective, like that's how.
I like the competitive perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought it was funny, like seeing the two views of it.
Yeah, that's funny.
So one final question about the Annihilator Cup, and then I wanted to get into EVO. Did you playing in an Annihilator Cup influence your decision to go to EVO at all? Or
I already kind of wanted to go, but I think afterwards I really wanted to go because what made me really want to go? I'm trying to think. Like, I think as it got closer, I was kind of getting more and more FOMO, I guess, of like, oh, if I don't go, like, am I going to miss out? You know, like I've never been before. I've never seen anybody even IRL stream at EVO before. So I was like, yeah, okay. Like, I think after playing, it definitely made me want to go more. But I don't know what specific thing really got me into like wanting to go more. But I've been talking about it, so I was like, yeah, it'd be cool to go to EVO.
Gotcha. And are you happy you went?
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was amazing.
Okay.
Like we went and playing Project L was sick. That was super sick because I know some of the Riot guys just from like League of Legends and stuff because I played a bunch of League, so like I knew some of the Riot people and we got to do that, and then Kenny and the Yo Video Games guys were like. They were like, "Oh yeah, come play with us. Like it'll be sick." So I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." And those guys were awesome. So that's one thing I noticed about like the entire like, pretty much everybody was like overwhelmingly like welcoming and everybody's super nice and cool. Like, it's like, oh, there's somebody who's like not a fighting game streamer is here. Like sick. Yeah. Like, they know we exist. Like that's like that's like literally people were like they would joke about it. It's like okay, cool. Like new people are coming in because I think a lot of people are always scared of like. It's a universal thing. I don't think it's an FGC thing. Nobody wants to feel like they're playing a dead game, or nobody wants to feel like they're playing a dying game.
Yeah.
So that's why people always talk about game X or game Y is dying, even if it's not. It's just that's like a big fear for a lot of people, especially if like you're playing something that's competitive, because if you're playing something competitive and it's like you're good at a dead game, then that's not cool, right? So like you don't want to be good at a dead game. But then if you are playing like let's say like an MMO, you don't want to play an MMO that's dead because like you want to feel like you're in a big like living world. So I think that's really just what it comes down to. But I think that was like super cool how welcoming and like nice and friendly everybody was. So
yeah, no, and Die by Sword in the chat said what I was gonna say is that the FGC is basically everybody playing dead games. I don't know if you got to walk by the community tournaments, but like there were people playing like Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo, like they brought like the arcade boards.
Yeah,
there was
sick.
What else? There was like a Third Strike tournament. Like they had a bunch of stuff like Guilty Gear, X and Core Plus R from like the early 2000s. Like so I wanted to ask, since you were talking about like looking from the outside in, did you have any like preconceived notions at all? And this is a question from Bob Ace from our Discord. Did you have any like preconceived notions about the FGC or about EVO before you came?
I mean, I expected it to be hype. I did expect it to be hype because I thought that would be cool. Like I thought like actually watching like the finals and stuff would probably be sick. I really didn't have any like specific expectation of anything going on because I was like, is this thing even like, is there an expo hall? Is it just a tournament? Like, wow. And they're like, yeah, there's like an expo hall, but apparently that's something new that happened recently in the last few years after like RTS kind of took over handling EVO, which by the way is they've done such a damn good job. Like I legitimately thought going to EVO was probably like the best convention that I've been to in like 2 or 3 years. Like it's like a gaming convention because like it used to be a few years ago, you go to PAX and then this developer is here with their new game that's not out yet. This developer is here demoing something. Oh, this game just came out a little while ago, but they have like a booth over here and people can come play it. And it used to be that was just how gaming conventions were. Like you would have vendors on one side, you would have booths and big display set up with like, you know, different game devs are there for you to play their games. And it hasn't been like that recently, probably because of COVID and all that. But PAX was like that. PAX was a really good example. Somebody that did that really well. it felt like an old like 2018 PAX at EVO because you had Project L, which literally nobody had seen yet, like as far as being able to actually play it publicly. So now if you went to EVO, you could get in line and play Project L. They got sick. They had MK1. They had Tekken 8. They have all these games there. Now it's smaller, I guess, because it's like specific to fighting games, but like for the target audience of what it was like super cool. Like I mean, I really hope like more game conventions can get back to that and getting more like game developers and stuff out to the conventions and all that. So I just think they owned with that because they made it into, you go 2 days for the convention and then you go the last day for the finals. So I loved it. That was great.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that was actually going to be my next question is how it compares because I know you're somebody who travels a lot. I think I saw you at like Anime Expo. You were at TwitchCon. So that's really cool to hear that like that measures up in that way.
Yeah.
That's oddly surprising, I think, just because like I think I remember like the first year that they did EVO at that convention center because it used to be at the Westin, like all the way at the other end of the strip, and then like the finals was on Sunday at the Mandalay Bay, so everybody had to like migrate over.
Yeah.
So seeing it being compared to like a really good convention is awesome, especially because like, did you compete at all, or were you there?
No, I mean I was just there to hang out and I think next year I probably will because it'll be funny. I mean, I just think it'd be funny if like I won one. Because like, yeah. So that would be the goal. The goal would be to not go like. No, the goal would be to actually win like a set or whatever. Like not go like 0-2, but like I would actually. The goal would be to try and win one set.
Yeah, dude, that's the whole FGC struggle. Like to not go 0-2.
Yeah.
Because like a quarter of the think about it this way: a quarter of the tournament goes 0-2.
Yeah.
Like 1/4 of the tournament goes 0-2. That's scary.
Well, and also, dude, imagine, hey, you're in pools, right? And it's like, okay, who are you going up against? Okay, you got Daigo. Congrats.
Yeah.
Like it could. I mean, imagine the guy going up against Justin Wong. For the first match. It's like, okay, well, that's a wrap, right? Yeah. So
like Ulsan was in my who was like I think 4th in Tekken was in my pool for Tekken. So I was like, well, I guess that's that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is how it goes.
I think that's kind of the allure of the FGC, right? Because as far as other esports go, like, is there any other esport that you can think of where you can go sign up for a tournament and then all of a sudden you're playing alongside, like the top players?
No, I don't think so. That I think is what makes EVO so hype. Is you can have any like random unknown like show up and be like, wait, who's this guy? Now it doesn't typically happen because like the guys who are like there's so many people that are so good, but the fact that it can happen and it's not completely unrealistic. I mean, like I just from like talking like hearing stuff because I haven't been around a long time, but hearing about like some of these guys like, oh yeah, this guy, he started playing a few years ago and now he's like one of the best. Or like this guy, I'm trying to think, was it Punk who kind of came up in like Street Fighter 5? Is that right?
Yeah, he won like an online tournament to go to a Red Bull event that was a Capcom qualifier, and he like was very close to qualifying, and he came kind of out of nowhere.
And then that's how people got to know him, and then now he's like one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, no, and it was the same thing at Tekken with a player named Genghis Don, who's from the USA. If I'm remembering correctly, like EVO was his first tournament.
Oh yeah, you're right. He was from he's from Atlanta, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was right in front of those guys. He had a crew just like ATL. It was so funny. It was so good. They're great.
Yeah, dude. Atlanta is a big scene for Tekken. Like they know how to do it down there.
Yeah. I've heard, is it just Tekken or is it like all fighting games in Atlanta? Because I think I heard DreamHack Atlanta is like a huge like fighting game.
Oh yeah.
Like LAN, right?
Yeah. I know as far as the Atlanta scene, I'm sure like they have a fighting scene for everything, right? Like every local scene has like somebody playing something. But I do know that the Tekken scene is like the Atlanta Tekken scene is well known, right? Because Genghis Don is from there. Anakin, who's been like a top player in Tekken for years and years and years, is from there. Poke Chop, I think, is from over there, and like he's like the most energetic man I've ever like met in my life.
Yeah,
he's awesome. Do you know who Poke Chop is?
I don't.
Okay, damn, I wish I would have pulled up. So there's maybe I'll pull up a video later. if we have time. But he, like, if you ever watch like one of those like fighting game hype compilations, like he's the kind of guy who like pops off at people, but like not disrespectfully.
Yeah.
And there's a set between him and Riola.
Go on. Sorry.
No, there's a set between him and Riola at like before Tekken 7 came out. Like Tekken brought. Also thank you for the shout out. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Tekken brought out a copy of Tekken 7 before Tekken 7 was released to Final Round, which is a tournament that happened in Atlanta, and two people who kind of had beef, but not really. Like it was like a fun video game rivalry. Was Riola and Pokechop, and like they just started playing, and like the entire time they were just popping off at each other, and it was like the funniest thing. And it just kept getting fun because like Eris, avoiding the puddle, who's like has like transcended the FGC at this point, was commentating, and he was just like making it even funnier. So I'll have to pull up that video later.
I don't think I've ever actually interacted with him directly, but Eris is great. He's super funny.
Yeah, dude.
I can imagine him making that situation so much like worse for the better. So just fueling the fire.
Dude, I got to meet him at an EVO. And I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, my personal account is BlueFire132. I hang out in your chat." And he goes, "Are you the fucking idiot that I banned yesterday?" I was like, "No." Like he confused my name with somebody else. And ever since then, like every time we saw each other at tournaments, we say what's up and we catch up a little bit.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, you're the guy I didn't ban."
Yeah. So coming in as a spectator, like on Saturday, like when we weren't necessarily at the arena finals, like were you able to enjoy the tournament like from a spectating point of view? Like what aside from the convention side of things, like did you what did you do?
So I came in about 20 minutes. I was a little bit late, but I came in about 20 minutes into, maybe a little bit longer actually. I came in a little bit late into Marvel vs. Capcom. And then I'm like, what the hell? Zero's overpowered for like 2 hours. Yep. And then, no, but for me, because I was streaming and I'm like, okay, is this something I can stream? Like, is this like going to be good to stream? Because people like, they watch it and they react to it. Right. Yeah. But it's like going to be, if I have a camera here, I'm like, hey, they're going to be good. And so, and it actually was, people loved it. Yeah. Because they got like that sitting in the stands experience, and for me, I mean, they actually gave me a media pass. They hooked me up with a media pass, so I got to sit like, I mean, I sat on the ground almost the whole time, so I was like sore. Like
I think that's when I came and said hi. Like you were just sitting.
Yeah, actually, it was. I think it was early on, but it was early on in the day, right? Or was it maybe whenever I went?
I think it was like right after Marvel.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sitting on the ground and I'm like, okay, like I'll just sit over here because I don't want to like get in front of anybody or whatever. And like, obviously, like so I would just like get the shots, and then I would like talk in between, and I would just like film the screen. So I want to figure out I want to figure out a way to do it better next year, but I don't know if I need to do it better because people just love that so much. And I made some YouTube videos on the stuff at EVO, and the editors did a great job like putting those together, and people love those videos too. So I don't know, maybe I'll just do the exact same thing next time I go. But I really, really enjoyed it. And I mean, it got to the point where I was like, all the other like videographers and photographers were like getting up, and then I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna act like a video guy. I'm like, I would just walk in front. I would go like randomly ask people questions, like interview them.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I think this is something you brought up. Like, I think very few people like have done like an actual like IRL stream. Like we have a couple of people who do it. Like I think Stupendous is one of them, and you can always see them like carrying like a big like Osmo grip. But I think you were like the first person who like was there to stream, right? Like everybody else is there to play the tournament, and then they stream on the side.
And then they also stream, yeah.
Yeah. So seeing that, and like I watched the YouTube chat. Like whoever's your editor is like hilarious, right? Like the first shot, like the first video I saw was like you standing there, and people were like, "Oh, we're looking for someone famous." That shit was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like seeing like people be properly introduced to what the FGC is, like, because I feel like the FGC kind of gets a bad rap on Twitter, and rightfully so, because it's just a bunch of people arguing all the time.
Yeah.
But then seeing like the actual
every game though.
Yeah. But then like seeing like the I think I saw like I was just super curious, and I wound up seeing like your VOD of you hanging out in the arena, and like seeing people in the chat get excited about what's happening on screen along with the people in the arena was like awesome, right? Because that used to be something that like we just saw, like whether you were at home or at the venue, but like never quite both. So so that was pretty sick. Now, was there any other, aside from Street Fighter 6, was there any other game that like really piqued your interest at EVO?
I really liked watching Tekken, actually.
Yeah,
I did like watching Tekken. So I'll probably get into Tekken whenever Tekken 8 comes out. Mortal Kombat was cool, but I didn't get to actually watch much of it. But I got to play a little bit of MK1, and Mortal Kombat's another one of those games where it's like, you know, you play it occasionally growing up or whatever, but like I had no idea what I'm doing. But Mortal Kombat is another one that I always thought was cool. I'm trying to think, what other games did I think was like, oh, that looks cool. I learned about games. Like I didn't really even know about Guilty Gear. Like I'd heard the words Guilty Gear together before, but I didn't really know what it was. And so seeing Guilty Gear, I saw a little bit of it because I think actually I did 2 streams. I left and I had to recharge batteries and went live again. So I didn't get to watch much of it, but I basically learned about that and that looked kind of cool. So yeah, I mean, I would say the big ones were Tekken, Mortal Kombat, and Street Fighter, obviously. You know what else I always really, really liked was Killer Instinct. I was like, Killer Instinct was sick, but I feel like is the Killer Instinct not as popular, I guess, right now?
Yeah, it's difficult because since it was an Xbox One exclusive, not a lot of people got to play it when it first came out. But now that it's out on PC, people started playing it. And I don't know if you saw, but they announced that they're actually doing another patch for it for the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, that is
so I was like,
sick.
wait, what?
Yeah, that was so crazy because they initially just had an exhibition, right? Like they just got a bunch of top players. Like Killer Instinct is one of those, like it's one of those like niche within a niche type of games where like you can always find a crew playing it, but it's never going to be like as far as right now, like it's never going to be as big as like a Street Fighter. In the future, you know, anything's possible. But yeah, like Killer Instinct has always been super duper hype, so I'm super happy to see that game back, and I'm happy that you like it too, because like it's cool to see like people from the outside in looking at it and like being able to like relate, not necessarily relate to it, but like enjoy it, right?
Yeah. Marvel vs. Capcom was one that like I wanted to be like, oh, this is sick, but then what was it? Zero Virgil and Dante.
Zero May Cry.
Zero May Cry, is that what it's called? Yeah. And I'm like, bro, they gotta put out a patch for this game. Like, it's just ridiculous. But yeah. But yeah, I mean that's the one, because like I mean I think the idea of actually I had a friend who had Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I actually think as far as the like animations go, like the sprites and stuff go, I swear Marvel vs. Capcom 2 might have some of the best actual like character like sprites out of like any game ever. They're so good, and just like looking at them is like, that's sick. So I even bought a bunch of them.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm somewhere. Yeah, there's like, can you see the Juggernaut right there? That's a big guy.
Sick.
So yeah.
Well, the big deal with Marvel is like this was kind of like the Marvel revival, as it were, because Marvel was a game that was waning. Especially after Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite didn't do so hot. Like there was, again, it was like another one of those like niche within a niche scenes of Marvel 3 where like a couple of people were still playing it. But then once the pandemic hit, like it kind of died, right? Because nobody was able to play offline and the online on it was ass. But they figured out through Parsec, like it was Tong, who was one of the commentators at the finals, and a guy by the name of Kevin Ha in California, they found out that they could hook up a Parsec machine through Amazon Web Services, and you basically had like 1 frame of delay connecting to it. So it was basically like almost like playing offline. And once they figured that out, the scene blew up during the pandemic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So having it back at EVO was a huge deal, and it was like the first time like a big tournament had seen, or like a big like Marvel tournament had happened. And I think that was the biggest Marvel tournament ever. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so, I mean, there was a lot of people there. Even at 10, I walked in. It was, I swear it was like 10:30 a.m. And I'm like looking around. I'm like, dude, this place is almost like packed, like almost completely full already. And the main shows, it ends at like, I think it ended at like 10,
Yeah.
like midnight. I don't know. It ended late. So yeah, I mean, that was crazy. People were just hanging out there all day.
Yeah. No, and I think the crazier thing is because I love watching Marvel, but I'm not like a Marvel player, right? I think that game like just goes over my head. It's too complicated for me.
Uh-huh.
But like being in a crowd of people just waiting for people to drop the infinite, right? That's usually what Marvel vs. Capcom is. And whenever it happens, it's like the hypest shit ever because then like anything can happen, right? So
right,
like as soon as that happened, like I was sitting by myself, but like once it like everybody in the arena started getting into it, I was like, oh yeah, this is why I enjoyed watching Marvel. And then Zero May Cry happened at the end, and it is what it is.
yeah.
So like you kind of like you were saying before where a lot of developers used to go to conventions to reveal stuff. EVO is kind of like the fighting game community's version of E3, right?
Right.
Especially Sunday finals because they have those big reveals. It used to be like that was where they would reveal stuff, but now that Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 and Mortal Kombat, well, Mortal Kombat 1's always been kind of on the outside because it's been more popular. Like that's where they would reveal like their big reveal for the year. That's since changed because now they have their own tours, so they save up stuff for the year. But they still had some crazy reveals at EVO this year. What did you think about the reveals and watching them in an arena with like 10,000 people?
The energy is just sick. Yeah, the energy is just sick. I'm trying to think of like what. Probably the Mortal Kombat one was really good. Mortal Kombat one was really good where it showed like Reptile and all that. You know what else is funny? Oh man, I'm gonna get. Is it Harada for Tekken?
Oh yeah.
Is that his name? Okay, dude. Like some people are just like funny. He's funny.
Oh,
like
he
just has like he was hamming it up, and he's got the stage presence, and it's like, dude, this guy, he looks like a Tekken character. Like he's just, it's like completely dark, and he's wearing sunglasses, and it's like, like I don't know, he just looks like he's got like, he probably has his closet, and it's like costume like 3, costume 4, like he just has these different outfits. So, and I'm like, yeah, he just made a character, like he just made himself like a game of like people that would dress like him.
Yeah, dude, he is like one of the fighting game community's memes, right? Like he walks around with a shirt saying "Don't ask me for shit," and like he always hams it up. Like I remember a while back, there was a leak for Street Fighter 5, and this was when Ono was still working in Street Fighter 5, and Harada just laid into Ono. It's like, "Ha, you got a leak, fuck you." And then like the day before the finals of the Tekken World Tour, their stuff leaked.
No.
So Harada just came out and was like, everybody shut up, sit the hell down, or sit down the hell, I think is what he said.
Nice.
Dude, it's so funny. And like he like you said, like he's so good at hemming it up. And seeing Ono there trolling, like that was the other person that like showed up trying to hint at Tekken Cross Street Fighter. That's never gonna happen.
When hilarious. He said Tekken X and he walked.
Yeah.
He's like Tekken X. Is it Tekken? I don't remember if it was Tekken X or Tekken Cross.
Yeah, Tekken Cross. Yeah,
he said Tekken Cross. That's what it was. He said Tekken Cross, and I'm like, Tekken Cross. And I didn't get it because I've seen like Street Fighter X Tekken. Or, like in my head, I always read it as X Tekken, not Cross. So like I didn't get it at first, and I looked at chat and I was like, oh, that's what he was doing. That's funny.
Yeah, because like supposedly like that is something that is still going to happen. They say, but you know who knows at this point. But it was so funny that he like just showed up just to do that. I think like legit. I think the loudest I've ever heard of an FGC room was when they revealed Johnny for Guilty Gear. I don't know if you were recharging your camera or not, but like it was the big Guilty Gear reveal right before the finals.
Oh yeah, I didn't make him. I wasn't there. Yeah,
dude, like that's a character that people have been asking for a hot minute. And
really,
like they showed like it was big build up. Like they showed like season, like they're having a new season for it, so they're gonna do like balance patches and all this stuff. And all of a sudden they just showed the card, right? Because Johnny's a gambling character, so they just showed like a jack of spades, I think, or like a jack of clubs, and people just lost their fucking minds.
Yeah,
it was sick. It was like the first time.
Great whenever I love whenever stuff like that happens, where it's like something that it's kind of like you know what this is, and then everybody like freaks out. Like that's always
Yeah.
like, damn, that was hype.
Yeah. It's so good. Sorry. Did you have like a favorite crowd reaction throughout the Sunday finals at all, or even on Saturday?
Man, I'm trying to remember. Maybe whenever Mena reset the bracket at the end,
yeah.
it was nuts. That was wild. Man, was that the loudest it got?
I think so.
That was insane. Oh yeah, there was also like the guys cheering for Genghis Khan was actually funny too,
Yeah.
as far as crowd reaction, because it was like a whole like crew. I'm assuming they were all from Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and them just cheering ATL the whole time was great. So that was a good one too, but that was like a smaller one, but it was like an instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say probably resetting the bracket. Meta resetting the bracket
yeah.
was like insane.
Hell yeah. And then sorry, I just dropped some shit. In general, like, did you feel like any difference between hanging out with the fighting game community as opposed to like maybe some other communities, or like attending other esports or cons? Like, what's your general like takeaway?
Like comparing it to other cons and stuff.
Yeah, or like the community. I think. Like, did you make any friends or like?
Yeah, I mean, I had a great time. I mean, I think the big thing is, the big thing with the FGC in general was like I think I mentioned this earlier, but just everybody was so like welcoming and nice, and they were just like excited to have people around, and they were like, oh yeah, like come like check this out, or like everybody's willing to like, hey, if you need tips or you want to like learn more about this game or learn more about that game, and inviting me to stuff, and it was just cool. So I had a great time, and I would say just in general, people are just super welcoming, and I don't think there was any like, I didn't have any weird interactions. I don't think with anybody. So no, it was a good time.
Hell yeah! Are you gonna come back next year for EVO?
Oh, 100%.
Good.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. We are a little bit over time. Do you have like another 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes? Or do you need to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, I got time.
Yeah. So here's the situation, Esfand. Now that you're officially a part of the FGC, we need to like get your initiation done.
Okay.
So I need you to. I'm gonna show you a couple of FGC memes, so that you're more knowledgeable about the FGC, and I want also like to get your reaction because they're pretty interesting.
Okay.
So let me pull this up here. First, this one is one that you saw, and I was wondering what you thought of it. So here it is. This was the video that I have is a little bit more dated than what you saw, but here is. There we go. The Ricky.
Oh yes.
This is from 2015, by the way. This video.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that at the end, because I remember I was like, okay, I guess it's over, and chat was like, no, it's not. Like,
you gotta get
not
set
end
free.
the stream yet. you wait until the end of the thing. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get it, but I was like, okay, like I got why. It's like, okay, yeah, this is just like a thing, but I don't know what it's from or anything. I'm like, it's just funny.
Yeah, so like the first person who started streaming FGC events is Team Spooky, right?
Okay.
And for whatever reason, like this was even before me in the FGC, like he always played it at the end of every stream, and he would turn off subscriber only mode, because on Sundays it was subscriber only mode. So because that's how he generated his money, was just through subscribers.
Yeah.
So. And then he would play this, and then as soon as the wall broke, he would turn off subscriber mode, and everybody would be like, "I'm free." So it just turned into like a whole tradition where he would do that after every stream.
That's so good.
And he's one of the people that was working in the back at EVO. So, and for everybody in chat and yourself as well, there's even a documentary about him. It's called Spooky Stay Free. He's like I think he's like one of the reasons why the FGC is where it is, because he started like the grind of like streaming everything.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, so here's another FGC meme, and this happened. This is Justin Wong. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but this is something that like everybody still like quotes to this day, and this was when Mortal Kombat X got released.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I've seen this one.
Just go easy on me.
Welcome to
I'm new to the game.
Welcome to the real world. Welcome to the real world.
Okay, that's a cheat move. That's a cheat move.
Welcome to the real world. Time to learn. You gonna learn today.
Right there.
It's so good.
You gonna learn
It's so
today
good.
is like a quote that like I think will live on forever. It's just so good.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, no, I saw that one maybe like a week before EVO or something. I don't remember. I saw it like not long before EVO, and somebody in my chat, like somebody linked it. I was like, "Oh, you got to watch this video." We were just watching random videos, and somebody in my chat starts freaking out. He's like, "I was there. I watched that stream. I helped him set up his capture card. His capture card wasn't working, and that was like the first game after his capture card got fixed." So no, I think that's great. It's so good.
I'm trying to remember. Like, there was a whole saga that happened afterwards too, where like he invited him to a party, and then like they tried playing again. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's really funny. So here's another meme. This is from the first ever Capcom Cup.
Okay.
They hired a DJ who has since been known as DJ iPad. Right. So
Okay.
if you ever hear anybody talking about DJ iPad, this is who they're talking about, and this is why they're talking about him.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is like an interstitial between matches.
Did he smack his head on
He
his
smacked
iPad?
his head on his iPad. Ever since then, DJ iPad has been a thing.
DJ iPad. Nice.
Yeah. Also, all of these most of these videos are from a channel called Base Monster, and Base Monster is like such a treasure trove for FGC history. So if you're ever on YouTube looking for stuff, Base Monster, like this dude like compiled like all of the meme-worthy stuff that's happened throughout the years,
Nice.
and posted them. All right, there is somebody in the FGC who's a top player who goes by Shine.
Okay.
And the meme around Shine is that he breaks everything. And this is why this is a two-parter. So it started with this. This is it in New York in an arcade called Next Level, for a weekly called Next Level Battle Circuit. Grand Finals, he was winning, and then he just choked so bad, and then this happened.
Oh,
Using the
okay.
name, I'd be upset. Do you have Sean's number?
Shine
I
is
need to
playing
call him.
Goken on the left there.
I need to call Sean right now.
You gotta hold that. You gotta hold. I'm not gonna even.
I need to.
I can't believe.
Somebody
can't-
call
I
Sean right
can't-
now.
I
Call
can't-
Sean because I don't know who this is.
I can't believe what Shine just. He broke.
Oh no.
He broke the headphones.
He broke the
Mad
headphones.
Cats.
He
Mad
had to stand
Cats.
for a moment. He
Get
had to
out
stand
here.
for a moment.
Mad Cats.
He had to stand for a moment.
So that happened.
Yeah.
Fast forward a couple of years,
Okay.
and now he has this reputation for breaking stuff. And then this happens. This is at NEC. I think this was 2015 or 2016, a couple of years after.
Okay.
With the hop roundhouse? Yeah. She hop over,
There he is.
Whatever you call that hop roundhouse.
Flexing the $3 shaper. Yo, you know it is sharp as a machete though.
Sharp as a machete.
Look like a perfect picket fence
Yo,
on
Chong,
his head.
since Chong.
Oh,
Bomboclad! Call it a shine. Yo, shine moment. Yo, shine. Yo, beef will get a clip of that. Yo,
no.
shine.
Yo, that is a first.
Yo, shine. Yo,
Oh
shine.
no.
That was
So what happened? Did he just sat down and bumped it or something and it fell apart?
According to him, he didn't even touch the table. So I think like
Right.
whoever set the table up maybe like didn't like put the like little washer thing in place.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he sat down and the table just caved right in
Yeah,
front of him.
just like the vibration of just like somebody moving by it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That one's a good one. Next, I got just a couple more. Next is I need to introduce you to the Ghost of Marvel. So, the Ghost of Marvel this was 2016, and this specific interaction happened, and afterwards, Marvel Infinite came out, and it performed extremely poorly. So people say that because the Ghost of Marvel didn't get his way, Marvel Infinite died.
Okay.
So here is the Ghost of Marvel. Also, before we start, I just gotta put the disclaimer out there. Don't do what this guy did. Invading stages is very bad. Don't do it. But this created this scene. Still, don't do it, though. So Chris G, who's the person with the long hair, just won, and this guy went up on stage
Chris G.
and tried to challenge him to a match.
Does he know who he is?
Nope.
Chris G. Random.
He pulls out the controller.
But yes, let's take
Dude.
one
So then
final look
security
at our top
promptly
eight here.
escorted him.
Dude, the way he
Amazing
pulls the
job
controller
all
up into
over.
frame is so, 2 controllers even into frame is so funny.
But funny enough, that's not the only
Oh, okay,
Easter
okay.
egg in
The
this
ceremony.
video, is because back here, who's that? It's me.
Oh, nice.
It's me. I'm that pixel, and the pixel to my right is Olsen, my my editor. So this was back in
Oh,
2016.
nice.
Whoops, sorry. Where do we go? Oh boy, I just ruined
But
everything.
no, this
Sorry.
is the story. This
Sorry,
is
just
the
a little
story
scuff.
right here.
So yeah, seeing that, like, hilariously enough, like, I had no idea that he was in camera, but like I just saw somebody like getting like both people just like picked him up by his arms and were like escorting him off the stage. So like seeing that live was wild.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let me see.
It's
Okay,
always cool, like the idea of thinking about like there's like some like crazy like meme iconic moment something happened and it's like, oh, I was there.
Yeah.
Like, either, like it's like one thing to be like watching it, like I say, oh, I saw that live, I was watching it live, but then like actually like being there is like a whole nother level. Like that's just crazy.
And then I got 2 final videos here, and this is another personality here. So the 2 commentators at for the Tekken finals are Tasty Steve and Rip. And now Tasty Steve has a what's it called? Like a reputation for getting way too excited and hurting other people. So also I got this video from Say Jam. He was one of the commentators for Street Fighter 6.
Right.
So he has a full like analysis on this. It's hilarious if you want to watch it. I just wanted to show you like the first bit of it. So here's Tasty Steve and Rip after they announced something at a Tekken World Tour final a couple years ago.
It's already not even in focus from the very beginning.
It's not mine. It's not mine. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my God. You're not playing Tekken. What are you doing?
It's all.
So
Dude.
that's Tasty Steve.
Yeah, I met him at EVO. He's great.
Dude, he's hilarious. And hilariously enough, Rip, who's the other person who got thrown down, posted this after the reveal this year. And it's straight up like, from his point of view, it looks like a jump scare. So this is from this year, right after Ono came up and started saying Tekken Cross. So here's what happened.
They're gonna show him taking cross street. No, they're not. He said we had a deal.
So just like the way Steve pans in the
Yeah,
frame is
he's
like the
coming.
funniest fucking thing.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
well,
great.
one final thing before I let you go is here on Best of 5, we like placing bets. However, our currency is not money. Our currency is pizza.
Okay.
So Gamescom is coming up next Tuesday. Would you like to bet a pizza on what we're going to see from Mortal Kombat?
Oh man, I have no idea.
I don't either, to be honest.
Gamescom. What would this say?
So all I know is that they tweeted out that Ed Boon's going to be there to show stuff off.
Oh really?
That's all anybody knows.
I mean, I would probably guess. I mean, surely it's like more character reveals.
Mm-hmm. Is there like a character you would bet money on or bet a pizza on to come back? You think? That we haven't seen?
Hold on, let me look at the list here of what's already been announced. Okay, so Mortal Kombat for MK1 announced character list. All confirmed characters. The Gamer.
Ooh.
Okay, this is too big. Push Square. All confirmed characters. Okay. So let's see. Ashra, Baraka, Ermac, Garrus, Havoc, Homelander, Johnny Cage, Kenshi, Katana, Kung Lao, Li Mei, Liu Kang, Melina, Omni-Man, Peacemaker, Quan Chi, Raiden, Rain, Reptile, Scorpion, Shang Tsung, Smoke, Sub-Zero, Takeda, and Tanya. So I was surprised Jax wasn't on here before. So maybe they would announce Jax, but I feel like they would have announced Jax already.
Yeah, so
they
have,
because he's a cameo.
Yeah, he's a cameo fighter. So the whole thing is like some cameo fighters are not going to be playable characters. So I'm wondering if he's one of those.
Yeah, like Sub-Zero is on both. Yeah, I would say. Maybe they would.
I should have thought about this before asking because I have no idea either.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a full guess.
Maybe I would guess. I mean, if Ed Boon's gonna be there, isn't like Noob Saibot supposed to be like an anagram?
Yeah, because it was Ed Boon and Tobias was the other person who made Mortal Kombat, so it's just their names backwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I mean, but then again, like I mean, he would probably just be there anyway. Maybe if it's like a big announcement or like, because they already have the date, don't they?
Yeah, it's coming out in like 4 weeks. The 19th of September.
They have the date, and then I think the open beta is in a couple days, right?
It starts tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, okay. So yeah, you have the beta tomorrow, and then you have the release in like a month, and then yeah, I'm gonna guess Noob Saibot.
Noob Saibot, okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that's who I was gonna guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn. Okay, so they got Garrus back. Shit. Okay. I'm gonna guess Cabal. Cabal is the guy with the mask that runs really fast and makes people spin like a tornado.
Right. Okay.
Okay, that's gonna be my guess. Is Cabal,
okay?
Because I don't think he's been announced yet.
Okay.
So if Noob Saibot comes out, I'll be shipping you. I live in Austin too, so I'll just ship you up some home slice.
Nice.
And if Cabal comes out, then you'll be shipping me some home slice.
Okay. And what if none of them come out, or both of them come out? Then we'll call it even.
Yeah. Then we'll just like split a pizza in half or something.
All right. Sounds good. All right, sounds good.
Yeah. Esfand, dude, I super appreciate your time. I super appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
If there's anything FGC related that you need, like I know there's a bunch of locals here in Austin at Arcade UFO. If you need anything, like feel free to hit me up. I got your back for any like FGC hookups. So
cool. Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Hell appreciate you being here. Are there like any final words you want to say to the people who are here?
Yeah, I mean, I just, I'm excited. I'm excited about fighting games. And, I mean, like I was saying this before, I've said this a few times already, but I feel like there's like a fighting game renaissance happening with like all these games coming out and people are super into Street Fighter. And I think if one fighting game is good, it makes all the other ones good. And 100%. I think that it's gotten to the point where people have realized that, because what happens is, I mean, you have 7,000 people sign up for Street Fighter, and now everybody's like, okay, this is sick. What's the next game coming out? Okay, Project L's coming. MK1 is coming. Tekken 8 is coming. Oh, wait, there's a bunch of updates for these other games that I didn't even know about, right? Like, what's Grand Blue? What's Guilty Gear? I don't even know these games. And then all of a sudden they start looking at that stuff too. So yeah, I think it's great. So I'm really excited for like the future of fighting games, and the whole FGC and everything's been great. So yeah,
awesome, dude. Honor and a pleasure having you on. Welcome to the FGC, as it were. I'm excited to see you at more tournaments.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Hit me up if you need anything. I'll be here. So you have a good one. I appreciate you being on.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll talk soon.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, ladies and gents, that was Lord Esfand TV on the YouTubes and on the Twitches. Check out his vlogs from EVO. They are hilarious and they're very well done. Please show him some love. That was Esfand. Still can't believe he agreed to come on. Shout outs to him. Force him into a tournament, please. He'll go when he's ready. He's a big boy, literally and figuratively. I say that as a big boy myself. So, ladies and gents, this has been. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. We have to send it to Ilan on the bottom right because he has information about the MK1 beta. So let me send it to Ilan on the bottom right. He'll talk about the MK1 beta. So we're going diagonally. Goodbye. Hello, it's me. I'm Ilan on the bottom right. Hope you guys are cool. It's been a while. We got MK1 this weekend. Starting tomorrow. I'll be on stream. I literally pre-ordered the game to play it. So the MK1 beta is happening. I got it for the PS5 because I don't trust the people who are making the PC port. So there's going to be a lot of MK happening this weekend, so feel free to hop on. If you're new here, first of all, thank you for stopping by. My name is Ilan. This is Best of 5. This is your weekly FGC talk show every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central. I stream every morning around 9:30, 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. Central. Apologies. I want to again give a big shout out to Esfand for taking the time, for being cool, for chatting it up over here. Super glad we had him. And I think Animate Sam, shut up. I'm trying to do it weekly. So we'll have more. I'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Central for some Mortal Kombat. This is it for me today. Anything else? I think we got it all. Appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Until then, goodbye.